PTG, Proxy Table Gaming, Hyper G and Lucky Sixes, ready to go for Art of War Round 2 continuation. You may speak.
What's up, dog?
Ooh, shrill.
What's up, dog?
Down the notch. Yeah, do it like
What's
that.
up, dog?
Yeah, there you go. Right, round 2 for the Orcs and the Goblins.
Who's Doug? I don't know. Karen, Orcs and Goblins, what do you say?
Orcs and Goblins, round 2, yes, of Art of War. I played against Mounted Champion in round 1, got 9 points out of an ID horror list that I have been ridiculed online for saying how broken
bad.
it is.
Yeah. We always said that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
pretty soft.
but no, yeah. But no, it's all good. I survived it with 9 points, and I'm delighted with that. So going into round 2, relatively happy. Drawn up against Warriors of the Dark Gods, who traditionally, of course, are the opposite to a shooting line. They do well to do a gun line. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Barb horsemen everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Throwing weapons.
Man, maybe that's a future tanker list. But yeah, I called it here first. This is against Ben Dunford, who I'd never played against before, which is awesome. Getting a new opponent in round 2. So looking forward to this. Marching columns in King of the Hill, much like yourself, of course, because we are in the same tournament. And here is the Orc and Goblin list, which you obviously have seen before. The loads of ball boys, really. Those are small units of scoring ball boys is the plan.
The objective project.
Exactly, yes. Seeing whether I actually can make them survive enough to win objectives, really. You know the list. Shagger Heartless is the Orc Warlord, Feral Orc leading it. I haven't got names for the others yet, but feel free to suggest any if you'd like to. And the Gargantua doesn't have a name either, really. He should do after all these years.
Oh,
Gargamel. It's always been the same one. Gargamel,
like Smurfs.
No, the minute you said Smurfs, it's turned me off of that. So.
Smurfs turn you off? Crazy.
Well, if it was Lemmings, then that's a different matter entirely. But, Anyway.
Don't mention Lemmings. Ben Dunford, you say?
Ben Dunford, yes. Warriors of the Dark Gods. So, Beldrak Ancestor, paired weapon, supernatural dexterity, quite a common build, really, and terrifying, of course. The Chosen Lord, though, I think trumps it in terms of terrifying, because this guy, Jesus, Grimbos. You probably can unpick all that stuff he's got better than I can. But I think it's a 4-up Aegis, isn't it? Is it the 4-up Aegis?
Yes.
5-up Aegis. Is it the 4-up?
Oh, no, yeah. It's 5-up because Idol's Spite is 1 time is +1 strength and attack
all that jazz, yeah. But he's got 8 or 9 attacks, stupid strength and AP and all sorts. And 1-up armor save, 5-up. It's horrible, Yeah, that's just what warriors can do.
Infantry Lord, though. So I guess against your star versus star.
Yeah, essentially. We'll see if that happens. Sorcerer Evo, which I'm used to playing you against, so I know all about the Evo Sorcerer. A big block of Gluttony Warriors in core with the Relentless Company. So Relentless Company on each side, which is pretty cool in terms of the infantry moving. A unit of 10 warriors, which you might be confused as chaff, but they pack a lot of attacks.
15 attacks, man.
Couldn't
quite fit Lust on them, though. Lust is very nice.
That's the way to go, isn't it? 8 Warhounds, which obviously I know are going to be troublesome in getting in my way. Feldrax, everyone used to take Feldrax, so here they are. I've not actually come across them, I don't think. Or maybe one battle a year or so ago.
People still take them, don't worry.
People still take them, exactly. 3 Chosen Knights, I know all about them. They've got the Pride thing. And Wasteland Torch, which, we all know the rules, thanks to Lucky Sixes.
Thanks to me.
Changing terrain. Marauding Giant with the Tribal War Spear and a Chimera that cannot fly. Because a lot of them lost that ability in the latest meta.
Well, it can't fly because of Feldrick Ancestor.
Indeed.
Being there.
So, here we go. Let's see. This isn't really all deployment going on here. But
he's got Cerberus. What's the Cerberus?
I know, it's amazing. That's the Chimera, actually.
Oh, nice.
It's just beautiful, beautiful models.
Props to Ben for that.
Yeah, definitely. Really cool. So I've got a unit of Poor Boys. They're a feral unit. Can't remember which one, but they're a feral version of some kind. I think it's actually the core feral unit there, the cheapest one on the far flank. Then I've got the Lances, the common Boar Boys, just inside on this side. Then the Goblin Raiders, the two wrecking teams next to each other in front of the Gargantula. Obviously, the plan is to send my wrecking teams forward and wreck, because that's what they're supposed to do. The Ferals infantry in the middle on a hill, which is awesome. I can't remember whether I dropped to go first. I may well have.
What are the hills? King of the Hills.
It's King of the Hill, so I'm going for the forest that is in your screen on the left.
Okay.
And he is going for my hill, actually.
Natural hill.
It is literally King of the Hill. I'm trying to stop him getting to the hill
that I'm
on.
All right.
So, I couldn't be better placed in terms of stopping him with my ferals on it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I got the spiders, Goblin Raiders, just in front of my ferals, and you can see the Scuttler Spider is my Goblin chief going out and already vanguarded.
You must have got the first turn if you're vanguarded.
I must have done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that I did, but we'll double check later. His side, we'll probably catch up with the next picture with the rest of the deployment maybe in a minute. He's got the Giant there, the Chimera. He's got the Chosen Knights in the forest. Is that now
which
a
is
ruins?
now a ruins? Yeah, that makes sense.
May well be
because they get Strider ruins.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that would
unless the other one is that might actually still be a forest actually.
Okay.
But the other forest might be the ruins now. But then he's got the Feldrax. Then he's got the Warhounds in a 2-wide formation. Then the Warriors, and then another smaller unit of Warriors. The Feldrak Ancestor is probably just underneath us in the water. Let's see if I can get another picture, and we'll see the other side. Yes, we will.
Nice.
Might be still underneath us potentially.
No,
no. In the water is the Feldrak Ancestor, and then the rest of my deployment, because obviously I'm Orcs and I've got loads of models. The Chariots are also just about on the hill at the moment for some zoning, which is cool. Then you got the Nasher unit and the 2 other Edbasher ferals, and you can see my little pieces of paper to remind everyone.
It's a solid lunch choice as well, ham and cheddar.
I know, ham and cheese. Yeah. I tell you what, they are Lidl's ham and cheese, and I had that both days.
Okay, recommend.
They were actually good enough that I went back and bought it on Sunday as well, just so you know.
Important in this battle?
Yeah, I'd say so. I needed the nourishment, so... Great. So I got some pictures of Ben's army because it's amazing.
It's lovely.
As we've already
oh, there's some old orcs there.
Yeah. He's kind of with. I mean, I know Paul Gobble's got a theme of warriors of the orc, whatever he called it, but they are orcs playing warriors, really. So, which is nice. Eldrax, Frozen Knights. Yeah, there's the old Chimera.
Big fan of that.
Cerberus, definitely. Yeah. Right, so what I do in my turn 1 is I move these core ferals backwards. The aim is very much to lead them on a chase, because I'm not planning on doing much on that side. I wasn't really thinking of going for his King of the Hill. I'll admit that right from the off. I wasn't planning on winning King of the Hill right from square one. I just didn't want to have anything to do with his left side. I was literally planning on focusing on the right side and stopping him getting to my hill. That was my plan right now.
Well, I mean, if these 2 Boar Boys can take those 3 out of the game,
exactly,
that's pretty good.
That's the plan, really. Those 2 units combined are only worth just 350 points.
Yeah.
And that's less than a Giant on its own. So if I can keep that Chimera, the Giant, and maybe the Chosen Knights busy with those 2 units of cavalry, then it's a win for me.
You might be able to take the Chimera as well at some point.
If the Lances, the common Boar Boys get a charge with their Lances on the Chimera, then they could go through it in one turn, yeah. But yeah, that's the thinking. In the middle, the wrecking teams move up pretty much straightforward. Goblin Chief has gone in front of the Warriors to chaff him, to stop him from relentless company forwards, really. Yeah. And the Feral Orcs are waiting at the very tip of the hill, ready to go. It means the Gargantula is now here. It means the Gargantula is now... Obviously, the wrecking teams are in my way, technically. Yeah, doesn't have to worry too much. On the right hand side, I think I've got another picture. Yes, I do. The Scuttle Spiders just staying where they are for now, waiting for the ancestor to come forward, and then I'll chap him. Then the chariots zoning, and my 2 boar units are sort of like just waiting their turn, really. Kind of slightly more expensive chap, those boar units, but we'll see whether we need to keep the Eldrak out of the game. Yeah. I get Cascading Fire off on the Warhounds and only kill 3, and I was quite disappointed with that. Technically, I suppose that was including the Blaze as well, I think. No, I know I was disappointed. I wasn't disappointed with the amount I killed. I was disappointed that they passed their discipline test.
General's right there.
I know it was leadership 8, but still, like that can easily fail.
Yep. Those
Warhounds, are going to be annoying, and they are. Spoiler. So into his turn straight away. I didn't get any other magic off. I think it was a small card. I could be wrong, but certainly nothing important. I didn't have a lot of range anyway in my magic. I think I got. What did I get on my crown? Might have been Fireball. Yeah, you might see it later. So he charged with his warriors, and I fled. Because basically there wasn't an overrun, and I knew that guy was going to die to the warriors. And this was my way of forcing his warriors forward for my ferals to potentially countercharge. And I was hoping that they would obviously catch the spider and go really far forward, and then be a little bit isolated in front of my ferals on the hill.
Sure.
And that is pretty much exactly what happens. Ignore the wrecking teams slightly. Just pretend you can't see them, because I'm not talking about them right now.
What are you on about?
Yeah, the warriors literally hang it forwards, kill the Scuttler Spider, which I'm fine with, because that was his job. And now I am a very decent charge range away from charging my ferals into his warriors.
Okay.
Now, obviously, that's a little bit of a gulp moment. Are you really thinking of charging your ferals into his chosen lord with the warriors? But yeah, that was all part of the plan.
Great.
And that was fine. What wasn't part of the plan, now you can look at the other half of the picture.
What?
The wrecking teams. I was probably a bit more argumentative with Ben than I should have been here. But he moved his warhounds up in front of them and then wheeled to hit both wrecking teams at the same time.
Yeah, solid.
Because obviously the front was moving forwards at the same time his back was moving downwards, if you think about it.
Sure.
And I was like, surely you can't take out both wrecking teams, take both lots of hit in one. I mean, it kills the warhounds. Yay.
Yeah.
Not yay. They're 119 points to 270. But I was like, surely that's not possible. And we did ask Dan. Dan was wandering past as TO, and he confirmed he has had it happen to him in the past. He's probably the best person to ask, because he has played wrecking teams before.
Yeah.
And he said basically, I learned that the hard way and realised I needed to deploy my wrecking teams further apart so people couldn't kill them both in one go. So I have now also learnt the hard way. His warhounds.
I guess
more than
with light troop stuff. I know not with this, but you could just light troops and reform on both as well, and that would be done at the same time. So
no, I think you have to contact them both at the same time. So as long as you have to contact them, you can't, because
So if you with light troop stuff, if you were like in the middle of them and just reformed so that you then did contact them.
Oh sure, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But I mean, I know dogs aren't light troops.
Yeah, and it is 100%. It is 100% correct. Ben is correct.
Yeah, got it.
He even says in the Ricochet rules, or whatever rule it is in OMG, that you can touch two wrecking teams at the same time. So, but I probably spent longer making sure that Ben was right than I should have done. So apologies for that, Ben.
You got to be sure.
It was one of those things where you realise, is that really possible?
Yeah, you're clutching the sword. I've done that as well.
Yeah,
I do that. I did that a lot throughout the tournament because my lord had magical +1 Aegis against magical. So literally everything, like any bow, is that magical? It's just like,
yeah.
You sure that's not magical?
And of course, this was a double blow in the fact that if I decided not to charge with my ferals, my wrecking teams could both just leg it straight towards that warrior block and actually soften them up a lot.
Sad
I mean,
times.
4d6 strength 5 hits on that warrior unit. They wouldn't like that, especially AP4. AP4. They wouldn't have liked that at all. And
No.
I would have considered not charging my ferals if I had 2 wrecking teams going in.
Well, you could not charge and chaff and
exactly
then charge.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was not to be. Well played, Ben, for knowing that he could kill my wrecking teams in one go.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, he moves up his Feldrak as far as he can. The warriors behind just taking their time about it. They don't need to, be rushing about it. Over here, the Feldraks and the Knights, again, are just taking their time. Neither of them really wants to be charged by the Gargantula or my common Orc Boars with the Strength 7 Lances. Because, I know it's only Agility 3, but if he whiffs his attacks on me, then I have got some magic to make my Agility better or his worse.
Sure.
Potentially, if I did get a charge up on any of the Feldraks or the Knights unit, the Boars could cause him problems. Chimera comes forward a little bit, and the Giant runs up these guys, which is
Giant don't care really, does he?
No, exactly. I mean, these core ferals have only got light lances. They would be strength 5, but still, I'd just rage it up a bit, and then he'd kill me a lot.
Yeah.
So it's better to have him chase me for a while. He gets spectral blades off on his warriors, which is a bit scary.
On the boosted.
He doesn't really need the boosted because Lethal Strike doesn't really help him that much.
Yeah.
You're
Fortitude, though, isn't it? Or are you Aegis?
I'm Aegis.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Only 6 up.
Again, there's me clutching.
Yeah, too right, yeah. I go for it. I'm going for it, man. I'm going for it. I don't care. I'm going to go for this. I set it up with the Scuttler Spider right from the off. I might have reconsidered if the wrecking teams could have softened them up a bit, but it's too good an opportunity to miss with them running forward.
We came here to party.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go up and I'm going to try and smash out those warriors, suck up whatever the Lord can do to me in return. Charge the Gargantuan as well for an extra bit of stompage. Help out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might have declared the war to make double sure here.
That's a good idea.
Because I didn't want to fail with one and not the other. I mean, if the Gargantula goes in, the Lord probably kills it on his own.
So are you 6 wide or 7 wide?
I am 7 wide.
So you've got your ranks, that's good.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested in how you charge them in.
Oh. The standard way.
Oh, I would have crisscrossed.
I know, I couldn't.
I would have crisscrossed.
There wasn't room for it. I don't think there was room for it, I don't think.
Go back. I think there was. The spider goes right on the flank. You can easily, because you're 7, he's 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have crisscrossed into those warriors. Oh.
Well, so you're already assuming that I win that.
Absolutely. I got faith, mate. You got it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's interesting. I would have crisscrossed. So we'll see if that matters.
Well, I mean, there was a way that I was hoping to prevent any counter charge.
Yeah.
But anyway, over here, I decided to basically ignore the Feldrak ancestor, chaff him with the Scuttler Spiders so that he has to spend a turn killing them.
Yep.
And go round with my Nashers and my Boars. I don't expect the Nashers can survive that warrior charge, but I have got the Nashers in the flank of the other warriors if needs be, if he doesn't go into me. And then I've got the feral Ed Bashers on the flank.
So is this the ruins?
Yes, I think the forest has been changed into ruins. And that's why I'm losing Nashers as well. Because they're standard losing 3 Nashers. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, well, all infantry would take it. So I'm surprised you didn't come back a little bit more so that all 10, if they charged in, of the warriors would.
Sure, no. Front rank of warriors, this is going in. This unit is just waiting for the inevitable backlash. They couldn't get round Feldrak, so I had to wait their turn.
Fair enough.
Over here, I chaffed the Feldraks with the Goblins, and I kind of chaffed the Knights with these guys. Both the Feldrak and the Knights could have charged into my Gargantula if that combat in the middle is ongoing, so I needed to sacrifice my Lancers on stopping the Knights getting in. I tried really hard to chaff both with my Raiders, but I didn't have enough movement to make them conga line. So over here, I turn around and swift reform, and this is just a chase, really. Awesome. I mean, I could have gone past the Giant and gone in front of the Chimera, but then the Chimera definitely attacks before them and probably kills 3 or 4 of them itself. So over here, this went well, really well. His chosen lord issued a duel, and my chosen lord, my warlord accepted the duel because I wanted to stand as much chance as possible of stopping his lord killing 9 feral orcs, basically.
And you don't have a champ.
And I do have a champ, but yeah, no, I do. I'm just looking at the spell as well. What spell did I get off? Can't quite see the spell. No, I do have a champ.
Flaming Swords, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think
if it's a buff spell on you.
Yeah, it looks like Flaming Sword, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I accepted the duel because my
because you're a boss.
Yeah, it's Shagger, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's got 5 up ages. He doesn't run from anything, and as you can see, he survives it with only 2 wounds taken. Ben didn't roll well on the chosen board. By that I mean he rolled once because everything else kills me instantly. But yes, he only did 2 wounds to my lord. I do lose a few feral orcs to the warriors because he's attacking before me.
Of course.
But I've easily got plenty of warriors left, and I kill a load of his warriors.
Yeah,
so many, in fact, that I win combat by 4, which is amazing. But unfortunately, because warriors get a reroll without having to take a BSB, grumble, hiss. Yes, this is the ID moment where I complain about blunderbusses again. Yeah, totally. Oh man, he needed the reroll to pass it as well. The first time he failed. Second time he rolled a double 2.
So what did he need? A 4?
Needed a 4. Got a double 2. If he doesn't pass that, I've got Swift Stride on both my units. I don't think I give him a chance to rally. I think I'd pursue with both.
For sure. You've got everything else chaffed.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly. If his warriors charge to the flank of my ferals, I just suck that up. But because I've just gained his chosen lord, his warriors, his sorcerer, I potentially hold the warriors if they charge in the flank. I don't think they'd want to. I think Ben would be in a lot of trouble if I killed that unit in the middle. And obviously my Gargantuan can also Swift Stride and catch
just
up. So.
Rewinding a little bit, did you challenge with your lord?
I can't remember.
Because it's your turn, isn't it? So you would go
I could have
first.
challenged first. Yeah.
I think if he challenges with his lord, you accept with your champ.
I think so. It would make sense, wouldn't it? Because the overkill isn't anywhere near as bad as I think I must have challenged, hoping that it would keep the lord. Because I was trying to win this with combat res. I wasn't really expecting to kill that many of the warriors. I did kill a lot. But yeah, so it was successful in that I minced through a lot of warriors. Just unfortunate that he passed his
you still got the Gargantula and all those attacks, so you should get the unit. I mean, the chosen lord is maybe. But.
In this, he terrors my Scuttler Spider off, which was unfortunate. I put my warlord on the orcs was on the left side, and because they charged, I couldn't reform him to be on the right. And my BSB. Where are the chariots? The chariots must have gone somewhere. I think they've gone around the left side, actually. Yeah, they've run away from the ancestor. But yes, these Scuttler Spiders unfortunately failed their terror, so they didn't do the chaffing job that they should have done, which meant that he can charge into the boars behind. He's not going to contact into many of them, but that's fine for him. He doesn't care. Henny gets in like so, and they're now dead. So that attempt of mine at making him waste 2 turns, killing my 2 units of cavalry, he's now going to, probably leave the Scuttler Spiders to run off and kill them straight away.
Yeah,
and then pivot to be in the rear of my ferals, which is not ideal at all, or go for my chariots. So that was a shame. He does charge his warriors into here. That's confirmation that Flaming Swords was on. And he doesn't fail any of the dangerous terrains. So I lost 3 Nashers to dangerous terrain. He lost none. Oh well. Over here, he charges both my chaff, which makes sense. Get rid of them. Does mean he can't obviously help out in the main combat, but yeah, all good. And this was the follow-up combat, and man, this hurt a lot.
Whispers.
You can see he has 1 warrior remaining in his unit, and I lost a lot. I mean, there's overkill on my lord this time, the 4.
Sure.
He literally does 4 wounds to my warlord this time round. So that shows how unlucky he was the turn before. to only do 2. So he did 4 this time. Or Guts full overkill, he may have even done more. And I just didn't wound as well with my guys, and left 1 warrior remaining.
Yeah,
I did put 2 wounds on the sorcerer, but not good enough, and so he sticks again. I think I lose this combat, as you would expect. I'm going to press the next picture before I comment, because it'll probably reveal exactly what happens.
No,
maybe not.
Nothing.
But yeah. He kills that chaff. We'll I mean, it looks like the Gargantula's still there. So
put a pin in it.
It doesn't look like the Gargantula's fled, so maybe he's still there. But yeah, the chaff dies, and he can't overrun into the Gargantula, so that's good. Over here, he kills the Nashers, and that's when I find out that 15 attacks on those warriors is pretty nasty. Not that I was really expecting the Nashers to do much there, but still. And he actually reforms them to face the boars, which I was quite pleased about. Because,
yeah, sure, rather than a flank.
Yeah. It looks like my ferals have passed, probably on steadfast,
yeah.
I would say. So I am sticking there for another turn. My issue, of course, is the more combats that go round in that middle, the less combat res I'm getting each time. I've got to attack the Chosen Lord. I am getting my stomp, once the warrior is dead, which hopefully he should be. My stomp will be on the Chosen Lord.
Well, it would be now, wouldn't it? As well, because it's less than 5 models as per shooting.
Oh, cool! I didn't actually think about that. Maybe I didn't need to. Maybe I could have done it on the Chosen Lord last time, actually. But then again, Stomp is only AP2, Strength 5 AP2.
Yeah.
So actually, it's better off killing the warriors, probably.
Yeah. So probably he missed out because it would have kept the warrior alive.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. Over here, these guys die, as you would expect, and he moves. He's not worried about the spiders. And we find out what's happened with the chariots. I was on the hill with the chariots behind the Gargantula, and I declare a long-ish charge into the Veldrax. Because I'm thinking to myself, if the main combat holds up another turn, which it might not, because the Chosen Lord will kill a whole load, and I won't be steadfast. If that happens and he gets his Veldrax and his knights into the flank of my Gargantula, I lose most of my army at that point.
Yeah.
So I may as well go on the aggressive and try and charge into the Veldrax, get my impact hits, 3d6, strength 5, plus 3 impact hits, and see if I can go through this Veldrax unit and get some points for them.
They're res 5, aren't they?
Veldrax are res 5, yeah. Yeah.
That is ballsy.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I hadn't really had a chance to charge my chariots in practice and stuff, so I'm keen to see what they can do. I know that they'll be squishy if he attacks me back, but I'm hoping to peel off a few before they do so. I move my boars over here out of line of sight of his warriors, just again playing cat and mouse a bit. And yeah, speaking of cat and mouse, he abandons the previous turn. This Chimera decides it's better equipped for chasing them down, and I've moved round the rock now. My Lancers did flee from the Chosen Knights. He didn't pursue, and I've now rallied. So there's still a thorn in his side, and he hasn't got the points for them yet. Over here into the next turn of combat, which is, of course, this is my turn, because it's the turn that I charge the chariots in. I kill his sorcerer and I kill his warriors, but he kills all but 2 of my ferals and my shaman. Wonderfully, maybe the Gargantula is stubborn, so passes on its own discipline.
And only taken 1 wound.
And has only taken 1 wound, so he's not trying to kill the Gargantula.
Can a Chosen Lord kill the Gargantula, basically?
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, I mean, it does mean that my ferals can run away without being pursued. Yeah, and I have got the points for his sorcerer, his only magic.
And the unit. Yeah.
And the unit. So not all bad. Technically, I've only lost half points on my ferals and my warlord. But I mean, imagine how different that could have been if he hadn't passed his 4 break test.
Sure.
So he has got a Feldrak Ancestor where that movement line of sight thing is. So my ferals aren't safe. And then I get an overview of the end of my turn, because look at those chariots.
Surely they deserved a close up to that.
Oh,
goodness
I hope
me.
They do. Maybe they didn't get one. Maybe because I killed 2 of the Feldrax with impact hits. He put 2 of the remaining Feldrax on my BSB and did 3 out of 4 wounds on my BSB. So my BSB's got 5 Aegis, so there was a chance that I could survive that, and did. And so, yeah, and my remaining chariots run down the Feldrax. Because obviously once he breaks, I'm definitely pursuing. And yeah, that's great bit of pointage for me, taking the Feldrax out. And now, potentially, I can look at keeping my chariots safe.
Did you get magic off on them?
There does look like a card on them. Probably Flaming Swords again, I would have thought. For an extra +1 to
really
wound.
Would have helped,
yeah, definitely. We might have a close-up in a minute. But they actually overran out of line of sight of the giant. Which is...
Mate.
Mwah! Good lads.
Mate.
That is the way to use me, zonal chariots. People doubted, but this is them saying...
I doubted very heavily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just a moment ago.
When I told you about what happened after this, you were like, you charged that?
Crazy man, but fair play. It worked.
It works, yeah. Into his turn, he charges his Feldrax. He goes, Ancestor. He goes straight into the Gargantula, I think. Or does he? Yes, he does. I think what he's planning on... No, I won't speculate. But I think he goes straight into the Gargantula. We'll find out in a minute. He charges into here to get rid of the Lance unit. I have to hold just because there's nothing to gain from running into his Chimera. He goes in, like so. Yep. And he moves his Chimera up to chase these guys. And so they're running out of space because the Chimera can move quicker than they can, which is a shame, but hey. Yes, so he does go straight into the Gargantula, leaves the Feral Orcs on their own. He moves his warriors again to try and get my ball boys, but again, I'm already thinking I can move out of his line of sight, so I'm happy to keep playing that game, which is cool. Keep them busy. Over here, he moves to chase down my chariots, and I've got a cunning plan to help myself survive that one, because I am obviously facing the wrong way. So if I could have charged the giant, then maybe I would have gone for the double whammy and gone 3d6 plus 3 strength 5 impact hits on the giant. That might have been all right. Might have been. He kills the lances with them. That's fair enough. And in the combat, this is a photo that I said I need to take a photo of that, because if that had happened to me, I would have taken a photo of that. The Feldrak Ancestor hitting on 2s against my Gargantula. Only managed 2 hits.
Oh my goodness.
How horrible is that?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like, I would have taken a picture if that was me, because I would have bemoaned my bad luck. So yeah, that was the Feldrak hitting the Gargantula. Insanely bad. I don't even think the 2 hits actually carried through to wounds. We might find out in a minute, but yeah. Crazy. The Lord adds a few wounds on it as well. And the plan not to charge the ferals comes to pass, because I do fail my stubborn test.
Sure.
And he pursues my Gargantula. I get away with my Gargantula, so it's not all bad. But the Feldrak easily makes contact with my fleeing ferals, and they die automatically. So, I mean, it was a calculated plan of his to not have to charge the ferals. And
he'd have to pass a redirect, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and it also relies on the fact that he's not going to kill my Gargantula outright. Because if he killed the Gargantula outright, then I'm not fleeing from him.
That's true.
I could have passed my stubborn Discipline 6 to stop that. So it's... Even though he hasn't killed the Gargantula, I think that actually worked out well for him.
Swings and roundabouts, yeah.
Because if I actually, I mean, I'm rallying my ferals on 4, but still. Anyway, that's the situation.
Four's been passed before.
It has, yeah, it has very much so. In my turn, he has actually left me a flank charge into the knights, and I mean, I'm not holding out a great deal of hope. That's only my 4 feral ball boys. And I have obviously reformed to get round the rock, and they're not in great combat positioning. Sure. But I may as well try it. And if I manage to win combat against one chosen knight on the flank,
charging a flank,
break him,
you 2-0 up.
Exactly.
He's only got like 5 attacks.
Yeah, exactly. And if I manage to break him, I actually get an overrun, chase him down. I'm even further from the Chimera.
Yeah.
So he was
slingshot.
He was actually a bit disappointed that he'd allowed that to happen, actually, because he really didn't need to. Yeah. He could have just faced them and it would have been fine. Yeah. And then I wouldn't charge at all. Yeah. I rally my Gargantula, so good for him. And I move my other ball boys out of line of sight of the warriors, just playing the games. And obviously those ball boys are relatively safe. I moved my chariot, that is not a character, in front of the giant, and just scatter with the other two, just to make the giant have a hard job. Absolutely, that is the plan. I think at some point I actually turn both my chariots around, so that I'm facing the giant, because it doesn't make any sense for me not to at least face the giant, because 2d6 strength 5 impact hits +2 is still possibly worth considering. Enough, although with only 1 wound on my BSB, probably not, but still. And that's that situation. I bounce horribly. He kills 3 of mine before I even attack. I know.
So much hope and thought.
I have actually killed a chosen knight, actually, so maybe it's not all bad.
So you did 3 wounds, and he did 3 wounds.
Actually, I think maybe the ones that I had left actually must have all wounded. So
how's that work then? If you've got a charge and a flank? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that works. But
because they've got 3 wounds each, haven't they? Chosen knights.
I think so. I don't think they have 4.
Yeah. So I've got 3 charge and a flank. I don't have a banner, so
he's got a banner.
I was 5-0 up, and then he killed 3 to make it 5-3. Yeah. Why am I fleeing?
Maybe I think. Well, I don't know. I was going to say, if you have 2 left, I don't know how you flee.
I might have already done a wound the night before. Maybe that's what.
Right. Okay.
I didn't do wounds in this combat. Maybe I'd already shot them. Yeah. Maybe I didn't get all the wounds in the combat, but I'm fine with it. It's fine. It was fun.
Yeah. Whatever happened, you did flee, and
exactly. Yeah. I'd made it so the giant couldn't charge into the shaman chariot. So I fled with my normal chariot and got away. Cheeky boy.
Ooh, that is cheeky.
So yeah, technically I haven't lost any of the chariots yet. So that's cool. You can see I've turn the others around. Over here, the Chimera finally catches up with these 2 fleeing guys and runs them down, which is fair enough. And it is kind of a bit of a surrounding job on the Gigantula now, but oh well. And he charges his Feldrak for round 2 on the Gigantula and chaffs the ball boys. He really wants those ball boys with his chosen lord, which is fine. Although I'm also still looking at my ball boys and thinking, I can get out of that. So that's all good fun.
Good lad.
Also, in the back of my mind at this point, I'm thinking to myself, can I distract his warriors to make them forget about King of the Hill? Because he's got like 2 turns, I think, to get on that hill and win the objective. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe actually I don't get my balls away. Maybe I sacrifice them to the warriors, redirect them away from the hill. And that's my thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Ben was thinking about the objective. He told me afterwards. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now. This is the last picture, actually, because we had to call it at the end of turn 5, I think it was, time-wise. What is this picture all about? I had done 0 wounds to the Feldrak Ancestor. And
Venom Surge, baby.
In fact, I think I might have done a wound to the Feldrak Ancestor with Venom Surge the turn before.
So he goes again with his 6 attacks and only does 2 wounds.
Goes again, only does 2 wounds, yeah.
Again.
I think he had more than 6 attacks, it's 7 with the paired weapons. But yeah, what is that? That is a massive swing right at the end of the points, because that Feldrak Ancestor is expensive. I can see you shaking your head.
It's like 800 points.
I know it is, yeah. And what's worse is that obviously he'd done that in his turn. If we had played another turn, I'm charging my Gigantula into his Chimera, man. I only need to do 4 wounds to it, and I get the Chimera points as well. Maybe even overrun into the Chosen Knights afterwards. Not that that's wise, with only 1 wound on a Gigantula. But yeah, crazy. I got a whole load of points from that Feldrak at the end. Just the Feldrak's incompetence. And I think Ben was like, what on earth is that Feldrak doing? It is completely just... No.
He didn't have a ham and cheese sandwich, did he, at lunch?
He clearly didn't. Clearly did not. But yeah, on the other side, I basically do move the ball boys in front of his warriors. I think... Well, no. Actually, in fact, we had to call it at the end of turn 4, I think it was, because this is at the end of his turn.
Oh, right.
Going into my turn 5. We basically... Ben was telling me I think I would have got the objective if we'd played on, because we were kind of, like when you're at the end of time limit and you're in two minds as to whether to talk it through and decide what would have happened, or to end it there as things stand and count up at that point. And Ben was like, I think I would have got the objective if we carried on. I was like, well, actually, I was planning to chaff the warriors, and we would have needed to have played 6 turns in order for you to get the combat into the hill. So I don't think you could have got the objective. And we were like, oh, let's just stop this talking through nonsense. Let's just end it here while neither of us has got the objective. Because, arguably, he probably would have got onto the hill, but I would have done my best to try and stop him. He also had the chosen knight unit, which could have tried to get on the hill round my Gargantula, but at the same time, that's debatable as well, potentially, depending on what happens. He doesn't get my chariot points, which is nice. And we end it there. It is a 13-7 victory
Lots
to
of
Ben
death.
and the Warriors, all because of death. Yeah, I mean, I jotted down my victory point list. You probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but his 4 units that I got points for, literally 4 numbers, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different point entries on my list of stuff he's killed. So I clearly did lose a lot of troops.
So what you're saying is Warriors worked harder?
No, I think I gave him a lot of those points. I think they gave their lives costly. Yeah, dearly.
Dearly? Costly?
Yeah.
Probably both.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. But oh man, what a fun battle!
Man.
That was a brutality. That was it's properly good. I mean, I'm still lamenting the whole. If he hadn't have passed that double 2, that 4.
It's the Chosen Lord.
Reroll.
Fleeing is massive.
Yeah. But I think I win possibly 20-0 if I get that unit, because I've still got my ferals in a very good position. I still have 3 ranks of ferals, maybe 4, and the Gargantula only on 1 wound. I still got my Warlord on 1 wound left. I think I'd be in a position to finish off the whole of Ben's army. If I'm honest, that might be a bit big-headed.
You might lose. You still lose quite a few units,
I still lose a lot of my chaff. Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it be 20 or not, but yeah. Big
I think I can definitely push for the objective, but then could I stop him getting it? Yeah. Anyway, I think it would have been a win had he failed that and a different battle. But overall, though, I think there were enough stories in that battle for me to be very happy with the 7 and how it turned out. Because at the same time, if the Gargantula doesn't kill the Feldrak, I think it's easily a
Chariot's
15,
MVP, man.
So, yeah, and the Gargantula did its bit.
Yeah,
he still only gave
killed a Feldrak
points,
ancestor. Yeah, so. Actually, that's.
I know. Yeah, totally. And I only gave him 255 points of his own.
3 wounds left. Let's go.
Yeah. Incredible. So thanks for the game, Ben. I enjoyed that. There were a bit of frustrations all round, but he killed my wrecking teams with 1 unit of Warhounds, so goes around, comes around. No, it was a good battle. We enjoyed it, and it was good. It was good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun. So I am only sitting on 16 points at the end of 2 battles, but I have addressed one problem that I was trying to do, which is to not lose big. If you do lose, don't lose big.
A 9 and a 7.
A 9 and a 7 could be worse. I have gone into round 3 at tournaments before on like 1 or 0 points. I think at Scottish Championship I was on 1 point at the end of 2 rounds last year. Probably not. That was probably my worst 2 rounds actually. But yeah, I think 16 points you can build on that. So happy enough. And yeah, what a slugfest.
Yeah, two armies that love to fight.
Exactly. I didn't lose the objective, so I haven't. Again, the scoring objective quest continues. I didn't have any reason to pass any 6-up armor saves on my Feral Orcs. You'll be unsurprised to hear. So that tally continues at 15 failed out of 16.
Oh right.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And the wrecking teams, technically, they got to the enemy lines because the Warhounds took them out.
Right. Okay.
So that is actually 2-2.
Because they got points, is what you're saying.
They got points, yeah. Because against the ID, they both got shot. That was 0-2. Now they're at 2-2. Not really a glorious way for them to go, but
stats are stats.
Exactly. There is it. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, thank you for that, guys. Round 2, very enjoyable. And we'll see what happens in round 3. Give us some comments on what you thought about. What do you think I would have got had he failed that poor discipline test? Do you think it would have been a big win, or do you think Ben's Warriors had enough in them to get me back? Probably.
And let's talk about the objective as well. Do you think with 2 turns left each, which
Could
way
have
would it go?
stopped Ben from getting the objective.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, we'll see you in round 3 then, folks. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and check out Patreon. We would be very grateful.
Absolutely.
And thanks to those who already have.
See you later.